Hopefully we're working by now. Okay. What are we going to talk about this week? It's pouring rain out. It's been pouring rain for like 2 weeks. Okay, it hasn't been pouring rain solid for the whole 2 weeks. Yesterday the sun came out for 3 hours, which is the only reason I have any dry clothes. I'm wearing dry shorts. Whoa, they're starting to get wet because I was just outside. Anyway, yeah, if anyone knows how to control the weather, we've got more than enough rain in Central America right now. The rain can stop. All water tanks are full. Anyway, what was I going to talk about? So the other day I was talking with someone. Mr. Landfill, what's going on, man? How you doing? So the other day I was talking with someone, and they were telling me about their truth. They were talking about their truth. And, you know, after some questioning, for anyone wondering, I'm in the tropics, and that's why I'm not wearing a shirt, because it's warm here. I know for a lot of people it's winter right now, and it's December and there's snow, but here it's pouring rain and warm. Anyway, so I was talking to this person about, and they kept talking about their truth. And after some questions, I got this person to admit that their truth is just whatever makes them feel good. Immediately after admitting that, they said, "Oh no, but it's true. It's true. It's real. It's true." And you know, it was just kind of like very silly and didn't make sense and blah blah blah. And this is something I've heard from a lot of people talking about their truth. Like they have their truth and other people have their truth, and everyone gets their own truth, and that way everyone can feel good in their own little universe and no one has to deal with reality. I don't know. It's like people talk about it like it's supposed to be somehow empowering to have your own truth. But I gotta say, I think that whole thing is insane. It doesn't make any sense at all. For two main reasons. One is that if you don't have any relationship with objective reality, so not just your truth, but like objective truth. If you don't have a relationship with objective truth, you can't do anything for yourself. You can't make anything. You can't go fishing because you have to do the right stuff. You can't grow food. You can't just decide, my truth says that this soil is good. If it's not, because it's not going to work. Or you could say, well, my truth says that I don't actually have to put seeds in the ground. Things just grow in the ground already, so it will grow whatever. Like it doesn't make sense. You can't build things. You can't do anything for yourself if you don't have a good understanding of objective reality, objective truth, right? Now people will say, "Oh, but I do all kinds of things," and then you ask them about it, and it turns out no, they pay other people to do all kinds of things, and that's how a lot of our world works today, and that's why so many people can go around living in these fantasy worlds where they have their truth and they can just live that way because as long as they go to their job and make money, then they can pay other people to deal with reality, and then they just get the stuff that comes from people who have done actual work in reality. Like you can't build a house if you don't have a connection with objective reality, if you're not seeing objective truth. And I've had this very silly conversation with people many times in the past, because I've built several houses in my life. You know, this one I'm in, a whole bunch of houses in the past. And there have been times when I've had this conversation with someone where I'm talking about a house I built, and they're asking me about it, and then they'll say, "Oh, I built my house too." And then very quickly it turns out, oh, they didn't actually build it. They paid people to build a house. And they're just calling that, "I built it," because they paid other people to do it. And then I'm like, wait. No, when I'm talking about I built a house, I mean I used my hands and I built the house myself using understandings of objective reality and objective truth. Anyway, so yeah, if you don't have any, you can't get anything done living in your truth. And the other problem is that, and this kind of goes against what people kind of like imply is going on, but it's a very antisocial thing to do, to live in your own truth, in your own little fantasy world, because two people from different parts of the world who've never met each other before can come together, and if they can have some common language, they can have a conversation that makes sense if they each deal together. It's like common ground for everyone. Everyone has to eat. Everyone has to drink water. Everyone needs some kind of shelter. Everyone goes places. You could talk about transportation. You could talk about family. Like there's all this objective reality that connects us. So you can talk about this stuff with someone you've never met before, unless that person lives in their reality, in their truth, in which case you can't have a conversation with them. Because you say, hey, so I knew this guy. They're going to say, how do you know it was a guy? How do you know it was a guy? Did they identify as male or female or what? And you say, okay, well, forget that. So the other day I was doing this, I had this rope, it was like 3 meters long. Like, how long is a meter? Did I identify as a meter? Is it this meter or that? No, a meter, it's an objective, it's a quantitative thing. Everybody can we have a common measurement, so we can communicate with each other. And yeah, without that, you can't talk to someone who lives in their own reality. And the only people they can deal with are other people who live in their same delusion. So maybe they have a little circle of friends that they get together with and live in their own little crazy time. And no, Hyper Viper, I have not sought therapy and I don't need it. Thanks, Mr. Landfill, taking care of that jackass. Anyway, my objective reality right now is that I have bread that I'm cooking right now, and I need to go check it. I'll be right back. Give me a second. I just gotta stoke the fire a bit. Oh, Jesus! Pour it under it. Oh, God. Oh, it's like a freaking monsoon out there. Okay. Let me just dry off my hands a little. So I don't know. That's pretty much all I was talking about. Is my basement flooding? No, I don't have a basement, which is probably a good thing. But like everything is wet. Just like walking in and out of the house. My ceiling, my roof does leak a little bit, but not that much. But like just 2 weeks of like almost constant rain. Just everything is soaked. It's out there. Anyway, so let me see what you guys are talking about for a second. Mr. Landfill's here. Tyrus, Gallier. Sup, man? God is good. Excellent. Afternoon, Jaimie. Everyone else? Richard says, glad to see you. Maybe a trend. I don't know what that means. That's true. Hello. I can't watch a TikTok video and then build a house. Yeah. Is your basement flooding? No. Okay, Vasco. What's going on, Vasco? Says, hi, I remember we used to say my point of view. Well, yeah. And the thing is, you can have your point of view, but you also have to acknowledge that a lot of things are just objective reality. But like today, it's just gotten so ridiculous that people are just denying, like, just a million times, like, I can just decide I'm a woman, and now I'm going to get banned from YouTube because I'm bare-chested as a woman. Oh no, I'm going to identify as a man. Now it's okay. Oh, woman, up man. Woman, up man. Like they, don't disconnect. So if you're a guy and you identify as a woman, and you go marry a guy who identifies as a man, and you want to go and have this beautiful family together, and then it comes time to have children, you're like, wait, we're missing some stuff. It just doesn't work. Like, it doesn't work in reality. You can't just make up what's real. It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, yeah, my point of view. Pitchwife, what's going on, man? Hi, Jaimie. Are you still struggling to find people to join you in Panama? I don't know if I'd say I've been struggling. I kind of like just let it go for a while. But dude, if you want to move here, that would be amazing. Yeah, I would still love to have some cool neighbors. I have a couple cool neighbors, but not really ones who came because of me. There's some cool people living around here anyway. Anyway, Michael Sloan says, I identify as a can of baked beans. Oh, wouldn't it be awesome if you could be like hungry and like starving to death and just say, I identify as fully fed, and then you wouldn't even have to eat. Or you could just go into outer space and be like, I identify as just fine, not having my blood boiling out of my ears. I identify as space-worthy. In fact, I identify as a rocket, full of fuel. And you can just take off and, yeah. I mean, you can do that in your dreams and in Fantasyland, but it just doesn't work in reality. So one kind of cool thing that's come of all this rain, since I've been spending so much time inside, because like after the first few days of rain, I just stopped trying to get stuff done outside. I'm still making bricks, like seawall bricks every day. I have a whole pile of them over here that are just kind of like, yeah, they're piling up. Because anyway. So I've been spending a bunch of time inside. So that got me thinking more about Giant Robot, and I started Giant Robot number 2, which basically meant I started by buying an expensive piece that locked me in. Once I spend $1,000 on a part, I can't just not do it then. And yeah, today I spent a couple hours, and yesterday just going through the internet and looking for parts and things that I can use to build what I need to build and stuff. So I'm kind of excited about that. I haven't done like just a fun project in a while. I mean, my projects are always fun, but utilitarian projects are they're definitely fun in their own way. But it's always nice to be like, I want to do something that I just want to do. Like this is just, yeah. Anyway, Michael Sloan says, I just wish people was happy who they are. You know what I wish people? I wish people would always try to improve themselves and be happy that they're making improvement, even if they don't get to where they're aiming. Because I feel like that's a really good way to live. That's the way I try to live. Like I always try to aim for something that there's no way I could possibly achieve. And then by trying to get there, I improve myself, and then I can look at the improvement and say, ha, I'm better now. And then, if I ever do meet some goal that I thought was impossible, I'll just push the goal a little further till it's something I can't do again. Anyway, I find that way to live to be pretty good. But I've noticed that a lot of other people do not like it. Green eggs and ham. Let's see. Michael Sloan says, you're the guy that was building a spider robot and boat. I did, yes. I have built both of those. I don't know if I'm the only guy who's built that stuff, but I am definitely one. All right, let me go check on my bread again. Oh, so I cook outside, right? And it's like a monsoon out there right now, but I got to check my bread. I don't want to burn it. Oh, yeah, come on. Woo. Oh, yeah. Holy Christ. Oh. I have a little covered thing where I'm cooking, but I have to like run a few steps to get to it. Anyway. Pitchwife, do you want to move to Panama? Dude, totally send me a message, man. I know you have my email because we've talked before. Yes, I have built a spider robot and a boat. I built many spider robots and many boats, actually. Meta. All right, I gotta apologize again for my tablet screen is in the process of dying. So it's a little screwed up. It's a little bit hard to read some stuff. Metafarcical says, yeah, sorry, Jaimie, for poo-pooing the new expensive robot idea. You do you. I have no idea what you're talking about. Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about. Gotta keep reaching for the stars. Sorry for poo-pooing. Well, I'm glad you are not poo-pooing, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what you did. This guy, my willpower bones, says, Michael Sloan says LOL. Oh, my favorite thing ever. LOL. LOL is like right up there with people misusing decimate, which means to reduce by 1/10, not annihilate. Annihilate and decimate are two different words. Anyway, yeah. If you want to annoy me, say talk about decimating things totally. And then LOL. Oh. Anyway, I shouldn't say that. But I already did. Yes, Pitchwife. Totally email me. That sounds great. Lambo Drive Zambo says, Strand Beasts, Dutch beach art has a very good leg ratio for walking robot thingy. I think you mean like a leg mechanism. I've seen it, but I wouldn't say it's my favorite one. I've come up with ones that I like a lot more than that. But I do like that guy's stuff. His stuff is super cool. I love that stuff. The language, Vasco Zuzu says, the language and culture nonsense makes it difficult to understand each other because it's like we're speaking different languages, so it creates more division. Yeah, totally. All this stuff is always like, yeah. It's pushed by people trying to make money from people being useless. Like, that's what it is. Because the more useless and stupid people are, the easier it is to make money from them. And if you live in a fantasy world and you can't accomplish anything yourself because you don't have any connection to objective reality, you have no idea how to actually do anything in the real world, that means you have to spend money all the time. You have to buy everything. That means you're a slave. You have to do your job, and then you have to pay money. That's where, the people in charge of things want you to be. And for the most part, slavery today is voluntary. And if your life completely revolves around money, that's your only way to accomplish anything, you're enslaved. Yeah, slavery is crazy today. It's yeah. Of course, that's just my truth. Oh, I could definitely argue that it's the objective truth. Reed Cook says, saw your big gear with the mute on. Wait, saw your big gear with the mute on. I don't know what the mute on is. Had idea, island building trebuchet, not even close. Hi all. I could totally build a trebuchet. But I don't know what I'd do with it. Just shoot some rocks away. No, I want the rocks here. I'm on an island. I can't shoot land away. If I have an object, it stays here, man. Metafarcical says, oof, I think YouTube was about to cut you as you said, slavery is voluntary. Got a long buffering delay suddenly. Yeah, that would not surprise me at all. They're going to start doing that, or maybe they're already doing that. With AI, they'll just like have minor technical glitches every time someone says or starts getting into a topic that's not okay. You're not allowed to say. All right. Speaking of not allowed to say, has nothing to do with not allowed to say. Let me just check my bread again. I don't want to burn it. The last time I did this on YouTube, I burned it. Okay. Oh, look good. Okay, it's looking good out there. Man, it is starting to calm down with the rain a little bit too, which is nice because this is my cloth that I've been wiping my hands off on. It's just soaked. It's like I have one dry towel over there. I don't want to touch it because it's like the only dry one. Vasco Zuzu says, Will your new giant robot be able to walk on water like a water strider bug? I don't think so. I mean, it's going to be pretty heavy. This one's going to be like kind of heavy duty. It might be able to. I mean, I'm not really worried about this yet because that's like way down the road. It's getting way ahead of me. But it might be able to get into the water, float on the water like on its butt, like kind of on this part of its legs and on its butt area, and use its legs as paddles. I don't know. Right now, I just want to get something that works really well, and I'm going to be using some pretty heavy duty parts for like the main internal bits. So, you know, it's strong and everything. It also means it's going to be heavy. I don't know. We'll see how heavy it ends up in the end. Someone whose name's something letters 815 says, glad you still share your stuff on YouTube. YouTube is also a slave driver for some. Oh yeah, I mean there's yeah, you definitely have to be careful what you talk about on YouTube. It seems you can get away with a lot more on lives. So, which kind of makes sense because, you know, people trying to censor themselves as they're talking with no chance to edit it. It would be pretty harsh if like you said one word wrong and blam, you got booted off. But yeah, I mean, like in videos, you definitely have to be careful what topics you talk about, certain stuff, or if you talk about them, you kind of have to talk about them in a roundabout way, so like some people know what you're talking about. Yeah, censorship is out of control. I gotta say, I don't even know. I feel like Trump will be good for censorship. Will like reduce censorship. But I don't actually know. I haven't been keeping up with that stuff. I hope anyway. Let's see. Glad he's still on YouTube. Mr. Landfill says, swim out and check on your food. Oh, yeah, it's practically like that. Man, so many. Oh, it's so wet out. There's puddles all over the place. Earlier today, my kids were sliding down. Okay, if I walk out of my house right here, it's flat, and then I can go all the way around the house. Or there's another path that goes up the hill, and there's, it's like 1.5 stories up to the hill up there. And there's a kind of steepish path that goes up there. And earlier today, my kids were sliding on it. It's just mud. And, they're just sliding down on their butts and on their feet, just covered in mud. But it didn't matter. It was raining so hard that it all came off anyway. I did not join them in that particular one. I often join my kids when they're doing crazy stuff, but I didn't get in on that one. Wait a minute. Offer J says, hey Jaimie. Alex says, hi Jaimie, do you miss driving vehicles besides your boat? I don't. I don't miss driving a car at all. My driver's license expired, I don't know, like 6 years ago or something. And I have no problem with never driving again. I did enjoy driving my 4-wheel drive pickup truck, my old beat-up Toyota pickup truck, up the road I made in Vermont. It was just off-road. There was no traffic or anything. Parts of the road were so thin that there was like this much space on each side, and then there was a drop-off. And you had to know exactly where your tires were to be able to get up. Unless if it was really dry out, you'd be okay. But it was Vermont. There's a fair amount of rain and stuff. That was fun, driving around in the forest. But driving on roads, traffic and I don't miss that at all. I would much rather get in a boat where the road is just like the open ocean and I can just go. You know what? I smell bread. Hold on, I gotta flip it. Oh. Oh, come on. Don't burn. Oh, that is so good. Okay, yeah, it's raining hard again. Oh god, I can't even touch the screen with my soaking wet fingers. Okay, what was it? Oh yeah, I totally love driving boats. I would drive a boat over a car anytime. Of course, a car is much faster, but I'd still take a boat. So much more peaceful. No traffic. I guess if you were in like a high traffic area, like a marina in Florida or something, there could still be boat traffic, but there's nothing like that around here. Michael says, a lot of people invent prototypes to overcome a challenge to make life easy. Does your inventions stem from an ideas to help fix a problem? Life easy, I mean. Okay, I think I understand what you're saying. Like, do I make practical inventions? Yeah. I mean, most of the stuff I make is like all my boats. They're for transportation. You know, I built houses, and not that I invented a house, but I invented like this house, this, you know, whatever. Yeah, a lot of the things I make are practical things like that I use every day, and you know, very useful items. Most things I make, but yeah, you know, there are also things like giant robots that I would say are the minority that I just want to do because I like it and I just want to do it, and I might find some uses for it, but it's not like I need a giant robot. But yeah, most of the stuff I build is very practical, has purposes and all that stuff. My Willpower Bones says, how's the solar boats? The solar boats are excellent. I was actually just out in one like an hour ago. Wasn't getting any solar power because it's pouring rain, but it was driving, it has batteries. I have been following you for 7+ years. Ever try a jet drive? I've not tried a jet drive, no. What's your thoughts? It glitches as you speak, of being careful of what you speak. Well, from what I understand, jet drives are less efficient. And I'm working on solar powered boats, so you know, power is limited. So I'm trying to go for like higher efficiency. I don't know, maybe there's some kind of jet drive that is more efficient. But as far as I understand, the most efficient thing is just like propeller in the water with, you know, not complicated or anything. Paddle wheel is probably pretty efficient in certain circumstances too. But yeah, from what I understand, the jet drive is less efficient. Supernatural beings of Earth says, that's true. Something was true. Excellent. Mr. Landfill says, this should fill your cistern up with water. Oh, dude, my water tank is full. It's been full like for the last week. It's overflowing. It is totally full. Everybody's water tanks are full. Oh, it's crazy. Tony Simmons says, hey, Jaimie, what's going on, man? You know what? I was just 3D printing something, and yeah, it's totally done. I'm going to go get it. Hold on. Let me go get this 3D printed thing. Oh. Check it out. A little bit spiderwebby. My 3D printer makes a lot of these spiderwebby bits. Oh. All right. So this is meant to be a scale model of the first robot part I bought, which is a slewing bearing. And this is 1/6 scale, which doesn't sound like it would, the real one would be much bigger. But 1/6 scale means it's 6 times bigger this way and that way and that way, you know. So it's actually 216 times the volume. But anyway, yeah, I'm 3D printing all the giant robot parts so I can put them together as I go. so I know how it's gonna come out. This is so cool to be able to do this, to have the technology available, to be able to like buy. I don't even have this part yet. Like it's on its way, but to be able to buy a part, and you know, as long as you have the measurements, I can 3D print out a scale model, get a good look at it, and once I've got it in the computer, I can start designing other parts that fit with this. I can even design parts that will match up with the little holes. Oh, so cool! And this doesn't have the balls in it yet, obviously, but I have a bunch of like little BB balls. Oh, I have other ones too. Anyway, I have like some little plastic BBs, and I designed this to fit them. So hopefully they'll fit. I might have to run a bit of sandpaper around here just to make sure it's smooth. And I can get the BBs in, hopefully right there. That's lined up right. And then hopefully they won't fall out because they can only get in and out when it's lined up perfectly. And that's the top. So the BBs should not fall out unless I happen to get it lined up perfectly and hold it upside down, which might happen sometime. Anyway, yeah, I'm very excited. I want to go put the balls in this, but I'll do that after. How's the solar show us? Yes, I did show you. Yes, chat seems to have died. Oh, did the chat die? You mean the comments have died, or my video is dying? A year. I'm gonna dip out. Stay awesome, everyone. Keep on building. Very good meta farcical. Good thinking. The grease will hold the balls in. That's totally true. You're right, man. Yeah. That is totally true. If I put the balls in here and I put some grease in there, yeah, that'll keep them from falling out too. As long as it doesn't have the hole lined up and then start shaking it. Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about that. Good point, Mr. Landfill. The grease will totally hold the balls in. The grease will hold your balls, man. Classic Dude Mike says, huge beard, dude. Yeah, I feel like my beard's This is the biggest beard I've ever had. I'm going for like, bam. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know how big my beard's gonna get. When I started growing my beard, I told my daughter I wanted to grow it long enough that she can braid it. So we'll see. Crane. Yes, beard has its own zip code. Very good, very good. Crane robot. I don't know. It could have a crane on it. That. I've definitely thought about that. Actually, I was thinking about that yesterday. So this, hold on, let me get a visual aid. I'll be right back. Go and get the visual aid. So, hypothetically speaking, if I build this giant robot kind of like this, yeah, if I could, you know, walk it to somewhere and make sure all 6 feet are securely on the ground, then yeah, the top could totally have a crane and just boom, it would have a nice stable thing because it's got these 6 legs on the ground. As long as I make it, I mean, if I was going to use it for a crane, it would have to be like really, really strong, like super heavy duty, which is kind of going. How's the bread? Good chat. Good point. I'll be right back. All right, the bread's looking good. I am like 99% sure it's gonna stick to the pot though, because so I don't have like an oven. I just cook my bread either in a pan or a pot. Right now it's in a big pot. So I had the dough and then there was flour on the bottom, so I put that in the pot. And since it had flour on the bottom, it doesn't stick, right? So I shake it around, it slides around, no problem. And then usually what I do is I'll cook it until the top is dried out and then flip it over and, you know, just to make sure it cooks all the way through. But this time, earlier when I could smell it, I was like, oh, it might be getting close to burning, and I checked it, and it was getting pretty dark on the bottom, so I flipped it right away. But I flipped it before the top was solid, so it was still gooey, and I didn't put flour on it, so so yeah, it's totally stuck to the pot now. But I mean, it'll be fine. I'll lose a bit of bread to the pot, although I'll just pick it off and eat it, whatever. Anyway, the bread is doing great. Spiderbot ZZ Top, yeah. Will the passengers on your new robot sit on top of the robot? Dude, you're getting way ahead of me, man. I want to have. I'm not exactly sure, actually. You know what? That's the answer. I'm not exactly sure yet. What the seating is going to be like. I mean, they will sit on the robot somehow, but they may be inside a thing. Probably be inside a thing. I think I want to have like a roll cage or something, just in case it tips over, and I don't want anyone on it to get killed. Not that I'm expecting it to tip over, but if I'm like driving it on some rough terrain or something. Yeah, I think I need to make it some kind of enclosed cockpit that people can sit in on top of the thing. But that's I don't have to worry about that yet. I have a whole lot of parts to work out before I get to where people sit. How's the bread? Yes, the bread is good. El Del Sol says, other than riding the giant robot around and the experience building it, what is its value or purpose? Oh, I don't even know. Wait, what kind of crazy question is this? What value is a giant robot? What are you talking about? Yeah, that's one of those questions where if you have to ask the question, I don't think you can understand the answer. Well, yeah, I don't know. It's just something I want to do. I think it'll be cool. Yeah. I don't know. How do you explain that? Like, I mean, I think it'll have a lot of purposes for me in a lot of ways, one of which is just like the amount of stuff I'm going to learn in building something like that and getting it to work. And yeah, I don't know how to explain it. It's not going to be like, it's not a washing machine, or I'll probably use it for some transportation, but it's not going to go real far or fast or anything. Yes, just cool factor, nothing else. There we go, good enough. What is its value or purpose? Okay, you know the Mona Lisa. What is the Mona Lisa's value or purpose? If the Mona Lisa didn't exist, the world wouldn't really change. No one needs it. No one needs a giant robot. No one needs a lot of things that happen, but makes the world a cooler place to have them in existence. So that's yeah, that's the answer. The robot could have different attachments like tractors and such. Yeah, I mean, maybe I'll use it for, I don't know, maybe I'll have some utilitarian use for the thing. Okay, here's one use for it. If I park it up on top of my island on the hill up there, and I have a big blaster on it, people will see that from their boats when they're driving by, and no one is gonna mess with my island. Can you imagine thinking like you're hanging out with your buddies on your boat, kind of like casing out the neighborhood, being like, all right, which neighborhood, which house looks like we can rob it? And then you come up to this house that has this freaking giant robot with a mega cannon on it. You're gonna let that house go and be like, all right, let's not mess with that dude. Let's go check out these other houses that don't have giant robots in the backyard, just in case. And in the event that I need to storm through a zombie-infested city of some kind, there you go. I can use that. Probably attacking robots going by. Feel lucky to have caught the live stream. Excellent, Davey Concrete. spear launcher or foot soldiers and catapults for tanks. Read low center of gravity for the robot, or need low center of gravity for the robot. Nah, doesn't necessarily. It's not going to have a particularly low center of gravity. It's yeah, the robot is not like, it's not like something I have to build because I desperately need this giant robot to accomplish some utilitarian goal. It's more like what is the point of life? You know, like what is, like if you're just going through life doing whatever you need to survive, then you're just kind of existing. At some point, you got to step out of that and say, okay, here's something that I just want to do, just because. And then that's kind of like the point of life to me, you know? Like if you're just doing things that have to be done, then yeah, it's like, I mean, you're just existing. Yeah, you gotta step out of that and say, you know what? I want to write a book that the world does not need. Or I want to make a painting that the world does not need. I want to build a giant robot that the world does not need. You know, I want to build my house 4 stories tall with a running track on the 2nd floor and a gymnasium on the 3rd floor, none of which is necessary. Like I could live in something completely different, way smaller, and the world would be fine. But that's not the point of life to me. I could, yeah. I feel like the point of life is to go outside of what you have to do and you know, do something that doesn't make sense, and just do it. You know, I think that's an important part of life. Vasco says your kids got their own kayak, so once you're done with the robot, they'll want their own robots too. They may want their own robots. They might just try to steal mine. Yeah, I want to build some more robots too. I have a bunch of other ideas for different styles of robots. Of course, right now I'm just focused on this one. You know, the battle bots, but for real. I don't want it to battle anything. You don't need to break it. Sam Off Grid says, howdy, man. Ella del Sol says, I mean, the experience building it is awesome. I didn't mean to ignore that. Oh yeah, I took no offense, Ella, Ella, don't worry. Yeah, I don't take any offense to your question. The experience, it's true. The experience of building it will be pretty awesome. And I guess just what I was saying earlier, like to me, the point of life is to go outside of what you have to do and do something that doesn't necessarily have to make sense, you know? Ella says, oh, wait, Mijiplo 815 says, it just has to be done. That's true, it just has to be done. Ella says, I followed the whole Bulldozer video series as it happened. That had a huge purpose. That totally had a huge purpose. Yeah, the Bulldozer did have a huge purpose. Although in reality, I could have done all that by hand. I didn't absolutely need the Bulldozer, but I wanted to do it and it was fun. And it did accomplish the job. So yeah. Sam Off-Grid says, will you be able to transport it off the island? Okay, so the robot I'm building, I'm planning to have it all dismantleable. Like I'm gonna weld some things. Ooh, and let me get into that a second. Like I'm gonna weld some parts, but I don't want the whole thing to be kind of welded together. Like I want it to be bolted together in such a way that I can dismantle it into pieces I could carry, which I think makes sense. It shouldn't be that hard for a lot of reasons. You know, if I want to take it apart and transport it, or if I want to modify it or do repairs or something, it's always nice to be able to unbolt parts and do whatever you got to do and then bolt things back on. I love that. But yeah, I'll be able to transport it places. Totally. I remember your first robot. That was an awesome build. Well, thank you very much. That was pretty cool. That was a pretty crazy experience for me because it went from just not having the capabilities to do that at all. And then by the time I got to the end, I was like, whoa, I have way more capabilities. Like I could build something way better than I've done here. Hopefully that'll happen this time too. Like I'm setting my sights pretty high. I want to make something that's like really usable, that I can drive around a lot, you know. And yeah, but hopefully even with that, by the end, hopefully I will say, I could build something way better now that I've learned everything on this. Let's see. UFO. Mike, classic dude. Mike says UFO invasion was supposed to take place on December 4th. See any down there lately? Oh. Well, the sky is very overcast, so I wouldn't be able to see much. No. Don't see any UFOs. Oh. Purpose for my giant robot. I want to make this movie. And I know this guy, I shouldn't say too much about this because I haven't even talked to this guy about it. And I don't have any actors other than myself and my kids. But there's this movie I want to make. And in part of it, there is a giant robot it has a pretty short part in the movie, but a very important role in the movie. So if I build a good giant robot, it will be able to be in this movie. It will be excellent. Oh, it will be the best special effects ever. Are you kidding? Oh my God, it'd be great. Like an actual, it wouldn't no CGI. It would be like, bam. So there's a purpose for it. Mr. Landfill says he would need longer legs to leave the island. Well, yeah, this is all stuff I don't need to worry about yet. I need to get the thing working before I worry about being amphibious or, all that stuff. Emilio Cison says, hey man, big fan since way back. Have you experimented with flexy or springy robot legs? I remember being impressed when that Rex robot came out before. I don't know what that is. I did at one point build a frog that jumped. Although it was I don't even know how to explain it. It like wound up this spring that compressed its legs, and then boom, it would jump. And then his front legs could like go like this to kind of steer it, and then it would jump, but it didn't always land right. It would like land and then fall sideways and stuff. It would be pretty fun to get one of those really working. But that's the only one that comes to mind. I built a lot of different things. When I was a kid, I was always building like little walking and climbing and jumping robots and stuff. Vasco says, once you have it, the uses will become self-evident. Yes, there we go. And innumerable. It'll be like, well, duh, of course, giant robot. Yeah. Maybe. Now, if I build it heavy duty enough, which there's a chance I will actually manage this. But if I build it heavy duty enough, I may be able to use it to drag logs out of the jungle, which would be frickin' spectacular. Because that's a serious job, transporting things through the jungle. I can, and with legs, I could go places that wheel traction just can't cut it. You can step over logs and stuff like that. So we'll see though. Again, this is getting way ahead. Vasco Zuzis, you're right. Once I've got it built, then I can worry about what it does and why. My Willpower Bone says it's an underwater walker that is used to observe the landscape, the seafloor, or that's a question. Submarine spider robot, yes, please. Jaimie and his army of spider knot rangers. Sounds very 1930s Flash Gordon stuff. So cool. Who was asking me about? Well, my kids were talking earlier today, asking me about if the robot will be able to go on the water. And I was saying, well, the first part I bought, which is just a big slewing bearing, is already 190 pounds. and all the gearing. Like, it's going to be a heavy robot. And my one daughter said, well, could you make it walk along the bottom, like walk underwater? And then I was like, well, yeah, but there's a lot of waterproofing that has to happen then. And oh man, that's a whole can of worms. Yeah, I don't have to worry about that right now. Maybe by the time I get this one done, I'll be like, oh, now I should build a submarine robot. But the thing is, like, if I was going to build something that goes underwater, it would be way simpler to just build a submarine. Although, if I want to build something on land, it would be way simpler to build a car. Anyway, I don't know is the answer to everything. Submarine spider robot, yes. Classic Dude Mike says, Jaimie is, oh, I read that. Jaimie is a pioneer. It's been about 10 minutes since you last checked the bread. Yeah, I think the bread was almost done and the fire was dying down. Maybe let me go. I'm just going to go grab the bread and bring it in then. It should be done. Oh, it's done. Yeah. Yeah, so this is my pot in which I cook the bread. Sometimes I use a pan, which is like the same width as this, just shorter. But it has a bunch of meat in it now. And there's my bread. That's why I flipped it, because it was just starting to burn a little bit in the middle, which is fine. That's totally acceptable. And I kind of flipped it haphazardly and cracked it a little, but it should be fine. I'll get it out of there. I'm pretty sure it's stuck in there though. Oh, knocked everything over. But it'll be delicious, so whatever. It's been about 10 minutes, yes. Classic Dude Mike says, I remember when you were shooting discs at Aurora. Oh, that was so fun. With your first prototype robot, she thought it was hilarious, so cute. That wasn't even the first prototype, but yeah, I know which one you're talking about. When I was in England, kind of working with the toy company in England, I decided to go over there and just live there for 4 months. Not working, of course. I wasn't working. This was after the work was done. I was not working. Anyway, I was still playing with all the robot stuff, and my daughter and I had a game. She was 2 years old at the time, I think. Maybe she was still 1. I think she was 2. No, she was only 1 year old at that point. Yeah. So we had a game where I had the foam disc shooter, and I would set it up and attach a variable power supply so I could adjust how quickly it would shoot. And I would put it on the ground and it would shoot these discs out. And the game was, we had to run and grab the discs and bring them back and keep filling it up before it ran out. That was a lot of fun. Oh man, 1-year-olds are hilarious. Now I only have a 4-year-old. I need to get a 1-year-old again. My 4-year-old's super cute though. Earlier today, I was working on the computer, just trying to figure out what gears I'm going to use, or sprockets and chains and bearings, and just going through all this stuff. My head was like exploding because I'm trying to figure out what I need to get to make all these giant robot things work, and trying to figure out what's going to be most cost effective, which parts I can make, and blah, 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 at some point I was just like, I can't take it anymore. I got to go take a break. And all 4 of my kids were upstairs on the 2nd floor drawing pictures. And I just ran upstairs and ran like 5 laps as fast as I could on the track, yelling, blah, 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 blah. And then for the next 20 minutes, my 4-year-old was doing that. Oh, 4-year-olds are awesome. Let's see, where were we? I remember, okay. How's the roof doing? The roof leaks a little bit, but not that much. It's fine. There's more water in here just from going in and out of the house. And then anyway, just everything is wet, because like the air is wet. When it's just raining for like 2 weeks straight and it's like so humid. Let's see. Thank you, Mr. Landfill, for deleting whatever that was. I'm not even going to ask. Log dragging robot. Yeah, if I can make the robot drag logs, that would be spectacularly useful. Sounds like the rain cleared up. The rain does appear to be stopping. Yep. The rain has stopped. Supposedly, it's supposed to be clear tomorrow, but yeah, we'll see about that. Rogue Mage says, ooh, Rogue Mage. Consciousness and space is being mapped, and many signs point to DMT being a catalyst for human perception science. Okay. Aubrey says, I better be nice. Can you give me a shout out? I better be nice. Can you give Aubrey I mean, I can read your thing. Does that count as a shout out? You keep skipping to give me a shout out. Wait, what are you talking about? Aubrey said, oh, hold on. Let me just see something. Aubrey's message was deleted. I can't even undelete it. How do you undelete a message? Oh, give me a shout out now. Aubrey, what do you mean give you a shout out? I read all the comments, so. Oh, Aubrey was rude the first time. Oh, that's no good. Aubrey, don't be rude. There's your shout out. Classic Dude Mike says, somebody has been studying Terence McKenna DMT. I don't know anything about this DMT stuff. I mean, other than what Joe Rogan talks about, which I don't even watch that much, but he talks about it a lot. So, Classic Dude Mike says, my roof only leaks when it rains. So I'm good half the time. That's good. Yeah. You keep skipping to give me a shout out. Aubrey, be nice. There's your shout out. Just keeping you in the loop from out here on the mainland. Thank you, Rogue Mage. When I read Rogue Mage, I think my brain is thinking Rouge Mage because I get an image of the red mage from Final Fantasy. Rogue Mage. Another thing my 4-year-old does is she wears my giant wizard hat and one of my shirts with like a belt wrapped around her and a staff. It's hilarious. Let's see. Just keeping in the loop. Excellent. Thank you. You one of the millions of YouTubers I can watch that actually got my name right. Oh, Aubrey's not that hard a name to get. Wait a minute. Classic Dude Mike says, any good fishing stories as of late? No, I haven't. I've not been in the water that much. And I have this new underwater camera I want to use to get some stuff. But so for like, I don't know, a few months ago, the water was just, I don't know, real murky for a while for some reason. I don't know. And then there were a lot of jellyfish, probably had something to do with the murky water. And then now it's just been raining constantly, so I don't even want to get in the water that much. I did go in the ocean today briefly. But yeah, I haven't been in the water that much lately. Let's see. Let me just reload the chats in case I missed any things. Thank you. You're one of the millions of YouTubers can I watch that actually got my name right. Excellent. Well, it looks like I'm at the end of comments here, and I'm just coming up to an hour. So I'm going to go, well, in a minute, I'm going to go stick the balls in this. And I'm getting video of all this stuff. Don't worry. I'm going to sandpaper a little bit, although it looks pretty good. Yeah, does anyone have any last minute comments or questions? And before I take off, Rogue Mage says, Red Mage says, Jaimie, you were like a mythical character in modern times. Most people are scared to live in any sort of sense outside of society, and you're conquering it with a side of engineering. Well, I'm hoping to reach mythical beard status, but I think I've got another few months to go. I'm pretty happy with it, though. Anyway, thank you, Red Mage. Classic Dude Mike says, I hear the rainy season has been bad this year. I don't know if it's bad. It's been really rainy just the last couple of weeks. Other than that, I don't know. It hasn't been. I guess it's been kind of rainy, but not too bad. Ultralight with pontoons, dude. I would love to build an airplane. Maybe after Giant Robot, I'll build an airplane next. I don't know. I've bitten off a big thing with this Giant Robot, of course. So I gotta chew that. We don't hear anything about your fish traps anymore. Well, my fish trap isn't here. It's at my neighbor's house. So I don't know. It does catch fish. I need to make another one so I can have one here. I don't know. I've just been busy doing stuff. This is like, yeah. I don't want to go on about this, but I need like a partner on this island because there's so many things I can do that like I just need like another person. There's so many things there's so many awesome things that can be done. My kids do help with a lot of things actually. But yeah, having like, I mean, this is what the whole point of like marriage was, back in the day before people started living in their own weird realities and just didn't want to talk to anyone else. But yeah, having like being part of a couple, like you could do so much more if you could work together. So yeah, there are a bunch of things that I would like to do more quickly, and I feel like I could if I had another person here, but whatever, life is what it is. Fish trash, grease balls on gear. Yes, Mr. Landfill, I will grease my balls. Do not worry, my balls will be nice and greasy. I am gonna grease up my balls. Don't worry at all. Julian Jinx says, hi, Jaimie. Love you. Well, thank you very much, Julian. I hope you're having an excellent day. Sir Doc Mad says, Ack, the best to you and yours. Love it when I catch you on. Excellent. Mr. Landfill says, be safe, everyone. Over and out, Jaimie. Yes, classic dude, Mike. There is a tiny baby little wolf puppy behind you, and she is squealing. I don't know what you're talking about. I can see behind me through the screen here, and I don't see any tiny wolves. Take care, Jaimie. Thanks for chatting. Yes, Fosco. Excellent to see you. Julian says, can I explore your dome house in Vermont, please? It's not my house. So what Julian is talking about here is I used to live in Vermont, and I built a house there. People now refer to it as the trampoline house, which makes sense because there's a trampoline built into the third floor. It's not mine. Before I left the United States, like over a decade ago, I don't know, about a decade ago, I sold it to someone else, so it's not mine. So I can't give you permission to explore it. It shouldn't be hard to track down that person, though. Classic Dude Mike says, go consume mass quantities of caloric energy. Oh, you know what I'm going to eat? Today I just made just a pile of, I don't know how much meat that is. There's a whole bunch of meat. I'm probably not going to eat all of it. I'll put some in the fridge. Fridges are so convenient. Anyway, thank you, Mr. Landfill. Food, yeah, pizza. I did not make pizza today. I'm almost out of cheese. I need to go to town and get some cheese. Although I do have lots of tomato paste. Offer J says, see you, Jaimie. Your kids will grow into that person. Okay. Oh, okay. Thank you, Julian says. Excellent. Okay. I am going to get out of here, and I hope everyone has an excellent day. And thank you guys for being so awesome. Whenever I do these lives, there's always a chance it could be overrun with trolls and just horrible nonsense and stuff. But you guys do a great job. And Mr. Landfill, thanks for, sweeping out the nonsense. And yeah, just tons of gratitude to you guys. Thanks for being awesome. All right, I am getting out of here. Julian says, have a nice day. Jaimie, love you, man. Bye, Jaimie. You're awesome and an inspiration. Well, thanks, man. Don't feed the trolls, man. Not feeding anyone. Classic Dude Mike says, thank you for being epic. All right, let's get out of here. Everyone have an excellent morning or evening or whatever